Yeah, it's my pleasure to welcome Roger Stone, former Trump campaign advisor. Sir, appreciate you being here.
Great to be here, Carl, and congratulations on the great success of your new show.
Thank you very much. It's all because of people like you who come on here and offer your consigliaries of knowledge. So, I got to talk to you about the never-ending persecution of Trump, because there is more stuff going on. It's like every day they're trying something new. Now they're going to put the trial smack dab at the beginning of primary season. What say you?
It's because Donald Trump is an existential threat to the established order. Because he is a force of nature, he's uncontrollable, he's an independent. He is, I think, now much, much wiser after his first highly successful term as president. So now those in the permanent government, those in the two-party duopoly that run the country, are deathly afraid of the kind of reforms that he would put in place if he returns to the White House. And they, like everyone else, are looking at these poll numbers that show him not only handily leading for the Republican nomination, but also now handily leading incumbent President Joe Biden.
Yeah, I talk to people that are kind of, on the fence whether to vote for Trump or not, or somebody else in the primary. And they're like, the only reason I really am voting for Trump right now, or considering it, they say, is because they know how personal this is for him to clean house. And I think that's going to be one of his greatest attributes. But I want to talk about the FBI, speaking of cleaning house. Peter Strzok spoke with Joy Reid on MSNBC. She compared the Durham report and the original Mueller investigation. Take a look at this.
I look at his record of 2 failed prosecutions, and then I compare that to the record of Special Counsel Mueller, who convicted Paul Manafort and Rick Gates, and Mike Flynn, George Papadopoulos, and Roger Stone. Which one of these had substance and meat behind the allegations? Yeah. It's absolutely clear Robert Mueller did.
Roger, how many of those convictions were in relation to Russian collusion, actually, though?
None whatsoever. Look, the media tries to pretend that Durham's report is a nothing burger. In fact, that's not true. What it is documentation of the single largest illegal, dirty trick in American political history, in which the full authority of the U.S. government and the extraordinary intelligence capabilities of the U.S. government were used without probable cause and without rationale to not only open the Crossfire Hurricane investigation into Donald Trump, but also essentially to rationalize the appointment of Robert Mueller, whose investigation yet again found no Russian collusion. And that list of individuals, all persecuted Trump supporters, none of those prosecutions had anything to do with Russia or Russian collusion or WikiLeaks collaboration, for that matter.
So, sir, in your legal opinion, Robert Mueller went back to the DOJ to change the scope of the investigation. Do you think it was at that time that he knew that this whole thing was complete garbage and none of it was actually true, to try to keep the pressure on Trump? Or do you think he genuinely didn't know until this report came out?
I can speak to my own situation, which is very simple. Once Robert Mueller and his investigators determined that there was no Russian collusion, in my case, they tried to create it. So I was charged specifically with lying to Congress about events that never took place. On November 3rd, 2020, after my presidential pardon, only by the orders of a federal judge, was Robert Mueller forced to disgorge the final long redacted sections of his report, in which he couldn't sugarcoat the fact that he had found, quote, no factual evidence of Russian collusion, WikiLeaks collaboration, or any other crime on my part. So the whole point of my prosecution was to pressure me to testify falsely against Donald Trump and create Russian collusion. They wanted me to say that some 26 cell phone calls that I'd had with Donald Trump in 2016 pertained to either Russian collusion or WikiLeaks, and that simply wasn't true, which is why I refuse to say that.
Well, Roger, real quick, I got less than 30 seconds left, but no charges recommended for anybody. Do we just not, it's like, oh, okay, they broke the law, no big deal.
Well, sadly, Mr. Durham has run out the clock, I think purposely. So the statute of limitations on Hillary Clinton, John Brennan, James Comey, and the rest of these real criminals has run out. And therefore, sadly, you're right, Carl, nobody will be prosecuted.
All right, Roger Stone, we appreciate your time very much, sir.
Great to be here.